So I don't know what keeps happening. Well, I kind of do. The enemy doesn't want me to finish this, but I am. So if we got 3 minutes, 2 minutes here, we going to finish it. So where was I? Okay. Christians struggling to know where they fit in the church, in a family, or in the world will find themselves in the posture for destiny. Though awkward and uncomfortable, God frequently uses the thing least likely to profit us to fulfill his will to their full potential and swallow their identity. Hadashah's identity did not emerge until she embraced her destiny, and as the Lord's royal ambassador in the inner courts of prayer and fasting, her identity, however, was not determined by her choice or timing. When her people were threatened with annihilation due to Haman's evil influence, Esther came out of her hiding and revealed her true identity. That's so good. As a Jew, her strength of character and grace and influence on King Xerxes was not due to her human ability. Her external beauty was merely the setting for the diamond qualities of Esther's attitude. Grace and wisdom, the beauty that the world could not compare to the grace of the Lord, had revealed in her. So this story melts my heart because God sees the heart, and he's going to use people that you least expect, right? I remember my spiritual dad, Jimmy Tate, used to say, God will use somebody to bring revival that you don't like. Cool. Yeah. I could still hear those words echoing out of 222 Elysian Fields. God will bring revival through people that you don't like. You don't get to pick who does what in the earth. You don't get to pick who births purpose into the earth. You don't get to pick or have a say over who God chooses. And he's going to use people you least expect. We're like hidden jewels or weapons in the hand of the Lord that he sends out into the enemy's camp. Because that's the training ground. And, I used to complain and get upset and woe is me, self-pity, all this stuff. But it was all part of God's plan. And a lot of people didn't understand it. Shoot, hey, I didn't understand it in the beginning until I was fully awakened. I had to go through these trials and fire to strengthen me for these end times. If I didn't go through what I go through all the years of my life, I would have never made it in these end times, because I have a huge purpose on my life and I know what it is. I am not deceived. God has showed me. And the crazy thing is, y'all, and I'm not going to share it just now, when I first got saved and got in jail 2015, he showed me these things, but I thought I was tripping because I didn't understand the gifts, even though I read about him. And what he was showing me was big time. And I was like, I had unbelief. It's like I knew I had a purpose, but I was like, no, I'm really, really tripping. This has to be the demons lying or just making me. But no, because this last year, God confirmed everything that he was putting on me in 2015. And it was a heavy weight. But I see in these 10 years of the refiner's fire in me, because I always prayed, God, train my hands how to war and my fingers how to battle. And he trained me in the enemy's camp more than anything. But he taught me things in the church. And I remember I asked him a question, God, why am I going through this in the church, And he said, Elizabeth, I was teaching you what not to do. And I was like, okay. And y'all, I made plenty of mistakes. And this ain't to, because I'm not perfect at all, but I admit my faults. I don't hide my sin or my faults. It's usually all hanging out for the world to see, besides when people video me and, have my just stuff out where it shouldn't be. But God, he uses everything. And I had to even forgive people. I had to forgive governments. I had to forgive police department, sheriff department, the hospital, the church, the enemies, my family, myself, all of it. But God used it all because he knew this little girl, who is now a woman of God because she's being healed, was going to stand and break for the Lord over the sin, just like when Jesus looked at Jerusalem and he wept at its condition. I have Jesus's heart, whether people like it or not. I always did since a little girl. It just got hardened and tainted from sin and life and circumstances. But God used it all. What the enemy meant for my harm, he turned around for my good, but mostly the good of others, so he could get the glory. Y'all, my story, if it wasn't for God, it was not glorious. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to make people be like, that has to be God. And hopefully it saves them. And if not, you know, and it sucks that I encounter people that I really want to help, because y'all have a big heart, bro. Yeah, it was hard and for long, but I really have a big heart, and I want the best intentions for people, and I want to see them thrive and do good and be blessed, that just hate me, or they're jealous, or they don't understand what I had to go through to get where I am today. You know, I've been through a lot, and now it's like I almost wouldn't change it for anything. There's a lot of horrible things that happened, but it got me to this place. But Jesus knew me before the foundations of the world, and he formed me in my mother's womb with purpose. I came into the womb in pain and came out, but I had purpose. And once I changed my perspective on it, and now I see it, it's like, God, you know, people you least expect that's been hiding. A little orphan girl, because her family didn't want her, but it's because I was for the king the whole time. I just didn't know it. I wasn't aware. But they were. They were way aware before I was. That's why I was crippled with pain and bitterness. And these people were smart, and they knew what they were doing. But God, he's way smarter. He's way stronger. He's way more powerful. It's only God that when someone, a woman or a child, but I like to say that I'm a woman now, because that little girl is healed. Even the woman that got wounded has walked what I've been through, and to still love, and to still want even the very ones where the hand of the abuse came from, to see them saved. That's the heart of the Father. And by me having the heart of the Father, I've been highly persecuted all my life. Not even in the beginning knowing that I was being persecuted. I've been persecuted since the womb. But God, he has a destiny for me, you know, and some of this stuff, it's still mind-blowing, because I've seen a lot in visions, and I'm like, God, but he's like, I remember he's still, like, he's reminded me that day, why me, God, why? Why not you, Elizabeth? Because I chose you, that's why. And because you have my heart. You're a woman after God's own heart, my heart. And I just think that's a beautiful thing. I and plenty of people thought I was a lost cause and that I was worthless. But all that was a lie. I just had to see it for what it was. False belief system built in my mind, programmed, you know, my soul shattered by MK Ultra and mind control and narcissistic abuse, like you, satanic ritual abuse, man, you name it. Things attacking me in the air, like you name it. I shouldn't be in my right mind. But because I declared the word over me, that I have a sound mind in the mind of Christ, there's power in the word of God.